I did something really, really, really bad. Hopefully I have a job on January 1st. I figured it would be a good learning opportunity for you. I'm sure you wouldn't make the mistake that I just made. However, I want to show you how I am attempting to recover, and I think it'll be helpful, okay? So here is what's going on. So I wanted to give my major donors, the monthly donors as well, the VIP treatment. So I thought, you know what, this year I'm going to write a handwritten note on every single one of their appeals and write the address on the outside of the envelope, so handwritten touches, and they're going to be arriving in a 9x12 full page reply device. They're going to feel special, and you're not going to be able to miss this, okay? So for that to happen, the printer has to get it all printed and then send it to me. So this whole process took ages. It was like 2 weeks behind. I have never had it be this slow. So by the time they get to me, me and my team, I asked for help. We had to flip 600 envelopes in like 24, 48 hours with handwritten notes, all that. So we did it. Okay, well, I give it to my girls. I say, hey, would you stamp these and put them in the mail for me? So they put one stamp on these 9x12 envelopes. It just didn't even cross my mind that I needed to tell them how much postage to use. So these go out in the mail, didn't think a thing about it. Over the weekend, so over last weekend, a lot of boxes are delivered on the front door. And it's addressed to me and it says return for incorrect postage. And in the middle of December, and my most committed donors haven't gotten their appeals yet. Horror. I cannot even tell you. I died. I'm still marinating in horror. So that is what's happening. Question is, how do you recover from a big, expensive hiccup like that? I mean, it's a doozy. And my first thought is, okay, we have to pivot, or just me, I'm not telling anyone, I've got to pivot. How in the world am I going to make up for this? So I need to get them back out. Them stamped all night, got them out. So those got out, but it's not enough. I've got to really work hard to make up for lost time. So here's what I've done. I created an email. I send it to my major donors and my monthly givers, and I'm going to show you how I structured it. I want to show you how I structured it because you're going to use this same exact layout, call to action. You can use this exact same model for your year-end emails. In the last week, you get about 10% of your annual fundraising revenue coming in. And then in those last couple days, you get 20% of your online fundraising revenue coming in. And so anyways, you got to nail it because everybody knows this is the time to ask and the time people are conditioned to give. You have to cut through the clutter to make sure your email is seen. I love that term. Next After has, I think, a freebie about cutting through the clutter. In terms of value proposition, at year end, you don't have time to present your value proposition. Your main goal is urgency. There isn't time to chat. It has to be urgent because your donors are being bombarded. You're not going to get new donors at the end of the year, but you want to get gifts from your existing donors. The best way to do that is not to go on about your value proposition, is to get immediately to the need, to the solution. Give now. Don't draw it out. Don't chat. Okay, so that's my take on that, and that has been proven. Actually, if you end the email with asking for a gift, they've done tests. Ending the email asking for a gift does not perform as well as putting it at the top of the email. You've only got a couple seconds. Take advantage of. One more thing I want to flag for you before we move on to the email I wrote. Don't remove donors from your year-end emails. Let's say they gave in November, they gave at the beginning of December. Keep them in your year-end email sequence. Don't decide for your donors whether or not they want to give again. You're giving them an opportunity to give. They know this is they know fundraising is what you need to do at year end. So don't take them out. You're just making a decision for them that's theirs to make. Also, next after, they show you're far more likely to get a second gift in the 45 days after the first. And that was the studies they did on first time donors. But I have seen that same principle applied to just giving in general. When somebody gives a gift, they're thanked with gratitude, they feel valued, they want to give again. So leave your donors in your year-end sequence. All right, now to the email. I want you to see where they clicked on this email. You will see as we go down, the clicks go up. So above the fold, I do have that red text above the fold on the phone and on the desktop. I explain why the gift is needed. What's really wild is as we get to the very bottom, that's the highest click right there. The PS will summarize the need. I linked the GIF, which also got clicked, and then at the bottom, the unsubscribe, I say, Danielle really needs you. I just want them to know it's personal. Let's talk subject line. I didn't say something like urgent help. What I said was, I made a big mistake. You're the first to know. A couple things about that. How often do you get an email saying I made a mistake? It's from the first person and it's to a person. I have special characters. Special characters like 3 to 4 are great for standing out. So in parentheses, I said, you're the first to know. I have you in the subject line. Everyone wants to know that you're talking to me. You is perfect. Okay, so I have that. Now the first line of the email says, I have a, parentheses, ugly secret to share with you. Secrets, everyone wants to know a secret. Started that. Next sentence, I mailed you a letter and a little gift at the start of December. There was a gift included. There was like a thing that we send with our mailing. So it's about them. They know they're gonna get a gift. I know they're gonna read the next sentence, all right? So the goal of the first and second sentence is to get them to read more. Took me a little longer than I would have liked to have gotten to the need. However, I know my donors, my majors, and my foundational friends, my monthly givers, they're going to keep reading. So I said, I was horrified today when USPS returned 600 letters. Yours was likely included due to insufficient postage. I was 1 stamp short. If I was on The Apprentice, I'd be fired. So they will get that. Now, above the fold, in bigger type, in red letters, bold, underline, I say, as the development director, I need to raise a certain amount of money at year end. Because of my mistake, I've raised only 25% of what is needed to help families next year. And then I acknowledge their generosity. Not saying thank you. I say you have been so generous to the ministry. I wanted to ask if you would give one more gift this year before midnight, December 31st. I included 3 raw links to give in the body of the email and then also in the PS. I didn't want to use buttons because this was a one-to-one person. At year end, the very last day, last 3 days, buttons are very much appropriate because they're easier to see in the email body. Donors are conditioned to seeing buttons, and the main driver is urgency. Your year-end emails, those can feel much more, they'll be shorter, more condensed. Urgency, end of year is coming, please give. You don't need to build out your case for support. They know you. They've heard from you throughout the season multiple times. This is their last chance to give, and you're helping them out by showing up in their email inbox. So what are the take-homes for you from this email that you can use in your year-end emails? Keep the subject line personal. You can include multiple links to give throughout. Buttons, I think at the end of the year when your donor is getting bombarded with emails, buttons are easy to see. Use the buttons. Maintain the personal tone. Give them multiple reasons why they should give. Just because it's the end of the year, that's a good reason. But if you can come up with any other reason. So what I had in my email was, I haven't raised enough. I've raised 25% of what I should be raising. That's a reason to give. Another reason to give is if you don't give, a family will be left behind and we won't be able to take care of them in the new year. So that's another reason. Another reason is help us in the year strong. Now, they're not going to read the whole email and get all of those, but 20% of people will read the whole thing. So give them all the reasons possible. Make sure what's above the fold. Make sure you have an ask, a way to give something compelling above the fold no matter what. And then on the last day, I like to do auto resends. I like to resend to people who didn't open the email I sent in the morning. I like to resend it in the evening. I have a smaller list, so you have more margin. Like, you can send more frequently when your list is bigger. The larger your list, the more volume you're going to need. If you have 300 people, what you do with them is going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more different. It's going to be a lot different than what you would do with a list of 3,000 or 30,000. So that's why I choose to do an auto resend versus sending 3 times during the last day of the year. There's one key benchmark I want you to keep track of, and that would be revenue per email. So it's way easier to track than ROAS or ROI. This is literally take the dollars raised by the emails sent. And so it could be as low as 0 and as high as you want to go. So typically, something to keep in mind is for every 1,000 emails sent, typically $90 is raised. Now that would be from double the donation. That's a 2023 statistic. So at year end, you can expect a much higher average dollar amount per 1,000 emails. However, that's a number to keep in mind when in 24 hours, that email raised $5,000. It was sent to 600 people. So for me, my revenue per email would have been $8.33. Were to do the calculation to see how much money is raised per 1,000 emails, well, I got 5,000. I didn't even send 1,000 emails, so I'm doing okay. Now for me, that's not a high enough percentage of the year-end revenue I need to raise. I did get some very sweet emails back in response to this one, and I got gifts and I called them right away. I said, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your gift. So I made sure these people feel very loved, and I told them they're now my best friends. So on the upside, this is a really good way to create authentic relationships with my donors. Now I might not be there for them in the new year, but for now, everyone feels very connected. we'll see how recovery goes. Gonna work gonna work and just see what happens. I mean, I feel so sheepish. I feel like I shouldn't even do my pitch at the end. Y'all, okay, my name is Danielle Wallace. I am the owner of Grow Better. I partner with nonprofits. I work as a consultant. We take a global look at your fundraising. We look at your direct mail, your email, your major donor strategy, your monthly donor strategy, the copy you're using, ads, all of that. And then we just get to work improving everything across the board. I do like to start with low-hanging fruit because I want to get you money fast. And then from there we dig in and we optimize your entire system, your annual planning, all of that. If you are interested in working with me, you can book a call. I have a link in my bio, and I promise you, mistakes I make. They're typically like moving too fast, and I blow something up because I was moving too fast. In terms of me helping you, we're gonna nail it because we're gonna be the best team ever. You can make sure that we use enough stamps, okay? It's like a basic thing. It's like grade 1. So now I've learned my lesson. So I will let you know how it goes. Gonna hustle, see what happens. In the meantime, have a really good Christmas. Thank you for spending some of the year with me watching these videos. I really appreciate you. So, all right, have a good Christmas.